Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, and here we are to make a review video of a newly launched gun in India. So this is from the Gare, the Gandiva Advanced Research and Equipments has launched this new gun which is right in front of me. So this is based on the same platform, the GM10 platform, with the action block from the GM10, the side lever action, the safety and everything is the same. You might have seen a gun from Gare saying the Carbine actually, that is a bullpup model of the GM10. So this is the upgraded version of the Carbine, I would say. Has a body bottle in the front, shrouded barrel, regulator inside, 2 gauges for the regulator and the bottle pressure. So everything we need is almost there in the gun, despite it being bulky and big and a little heavier, I would say, but still does the job. Has a lot more number of shots than you expected from the gun. So this is the Gare Theseus right in front of me. I don't know the right pronunciation of this gun, the Theseus or the Thesis, like I'm just going to call it the Thesis. So the Gare Theseus right in front of me in the camo color stock. They have a couple of varieties of colors for the stocks actually. They have the wooden pattern, camo color, the black camo and other colors, I would say, like the plain black, I think so, the matte black. I have got the camo color for the review over here. So let's not waste time, let's get into the video and know more about this gun, the specifications. Let's put it to test on the range and see how the gun is going to be. So let's talk about the technical specifications of this gun. The first thing you will notice about the gun is a little bit bulkier actually. So the gun is bulky, the gun is heavy for sure. You might have to manage with a good amount of weight, I would say. The gun itself is 3.5 kg in weight because of the aluminum bottle in the front. The bottle alone will weigh around 750 to 900 grams, I guess so. Like I haven't removed and weighed it, but approximately it should be the main part of the weight of this gun. And there is a wooden stock on this gun that is going to add to the weight as well. So this gun itself is 3.5 kg and the scope on the top, approximately it will cross your 4 kg mark. The gun is a little heavier in size, but still, if you can manage the weight, this gun gives you all the performance you need. So let's see about the technical specifications. So starting in the front, you have a bulky body bottle in the front. So it is a 650cc air reservoir. There is more than the amount of air you would need for a couple of sessions of shooting. 650cc in the front, which will give you about 300 shots is what they claim from the company. This gun is set exactly to about less than 15 foot-pounds of energy, which is giving me around 200 plus shots very easily. I would say like 650cc is giving me 200 plus shots at less than 15 foot-pounds, which is very good, I would say. And behind the reservoir you have a manometer in the Z block. The Z block is a thing which puts a bottle on the downside, like there is a manometer which shows the available pressure in the reservoir. So there is another gauge on the right side which shows the regulator pressure. There is a regulator fitted inside the gun. The regulator pressure can be monitored by the gauge on the right side of the gun, which is near the action block area. So that is the regulator gauge, and the front one is the pressure gauge which shows the available pressure in the reservoir. And over the reservoir we have a shrouded barrel over here. The shroud, a full length shroud extending to the tip of the barrel, actually a little bit away from the tip of the barrel, which has baffles inside which will hush the sound. The noise reporters of this gun is not so loud, it is decent, I would say. The shroud and the barrel band has been put together with the barrel clamp over there. So what happens is, like, it doesn't leave the barrel floating, it holds the barrel in its place, so gives you improved accuracy for sure. So the longer version of their barrel, 15 mm in diameter, I think exactly 15.5 mm in diameter, has a good accuracy, has tested this barrel right from GM10 XSM. The 15.5 mm barrel of Gare has been the best out of their lineup actually. This has a 550 mm barrel inside, 177 caliber, gives really good accuracy, I would say. And coming to the back, we have a scope rail, Picatinny scope rail on the top. Actually this gun has a very long scope rail extending right from the action block to the front, almost touching the shroud over here. So almost I would say 10 to 12 inches of scope rail over here. So it is not a dovetail. Again, I would say, like, this is not a dovetail mount. You need to have a Picatinny scope mount for this gun. 21 mm, I guess the Picatinny rails are. And I have put a T-Eagle scope on the top, the T-Eagle 4 to 16 by 44 Revenge SF series over here, the Revenge series. A trusty scope, a really good scope, I would say, like worth the money. I have been using the scope on my Dyna Skyhawk and other guns since like 3 to 4 years and still giving me the perfect accuracy every single time. So I just put the scope on the Theseus over here, and behind that we have the action block of the gun. So the action block has a side lever action. The side lever action is smooth compared to the previous version of the Gare. They have improved a lot. The side lever is really smooth, doesn't have any creeping sound, like no loose ends. It's really good and nice, I would say. And on the left side you can see a small lever over here, that is a safety of this gun. Like if you push it to the front, it's on fire, you're ready to fire, and push it to the back, the trigger won't engage. I mean, like the trigger won't work, blocks the trigger, the sear on the trigger, so the gun won't fire. And this gun comes with a single shot tray and a 10 shot rotary magazine. I have fitted the single shot tray over here. I used to take accuracy groupings with single shot. That is what I prefer for myself. And there is a 10 shot rotary magazine which is supplied with the gun, which you can use whenever needed. And the fill port of this gun is kept underneath over here at the right at the belly of the gun, which is I mean, like it is very well concealed, I would say. There is nothing protruding outside, so you don't have any kind of disturbances while holding the gun off, and also putting a forehand, I mean like the forehand in the front, it doesn't have any protrusion, so it doesn't disturb at all. There is a QD froster filling on this gun. The QD is a quick detach system. So the universal system, I would say, like almost all the PCB guns have a QD system, and almost all the PCB filling sources have a QD system. So this one is a very good option from Gare, I would say. And behind that we have the trigger of the gun. So the trigger blade itself is a very nice design, I would say, just like a match trigger blade. And you know, there is a linkage rod from the front to the back all the way to the action block. Usually bullpup triggers are not so crisp as like the normal traditional rifle triggers, because the traditional rifle triggers, you touch the trigger directly with your finger and then pull the shot, like, whereas you have a connecting rod running all the way from the front to the back that connects the trigger, and you just pull the sear with that connecting rod in the gap. So what I would say, like, bullpup triggers are a manageable trigger compared to the normal traditional triggers, but still does the job really well. I'll show you how the trigger is over here. It has a very strong first stage, actually stops really well. I can feel the stop of the first stage, and then with a little more pressure it breaks the second stage. So you can see the noise report of this gun is also very quiet. The gun is empty. I have dry fired the shot. And coming to the back, we have the stock of this gun. It is a wooden stock. It is a wooden stock. Again, I am saying it's not a fiber stock, it's a wooden stock with a rubber recoil pad at the back. So we will test the accuracy of this gun at down range. I have taken like 5 varieties of pellets with me. I have taken the JSP 10.34s, 8.4 grains, H&N Barracuda 10.65s, QIS 9.56 streamlined, and the QIS 9.56 domed pellets. There are a lot more varieties of pellets available in the market, but I have not tested all the varieties. I tend to test all the pellets which I usually use on all my other guns. So let's see how the gun is going to perform downrange. And I think you can see the area around my place. It's been a lot rainy, so I have like bushes grown all around the farm, so I couldn't set up a clean clear range anywhere in the farm. So all I have is, like, usually I do 25 yards and 50 yards grouping, but this time I'm going to stop with intermediate distance at 30 or 35 yards. I can find a range about 35 yards from here, so I'm going to use that range. I'm going to set up the targets at 35 yards, and I'm going to test all the 5 varieties of pellets, and let's see how the pellets are going to perform, and let's see what is the best pellet suited out for this gun. We are in for the accuracy testing right now. As I have told you, I don't have much of a range. It's all covered with bushes over here, so I can't do a 25 and 50 yards. So what I'm going to do is, like, I found a place where I could take a range of about 35 yards. So I set up the targets at 35 yards. So we'll start the testing at 35 yards. First pellet I'm going to test is the JSB 10.34s. I'm going to single load all the pellets just to make sure I get the perfect accuracy out of this gun. Let's start. And I'm going to fast forward the system, because every time I load a single pellet and then take the shot, the video is going to be too long for about 30 shots. So let's fast forward the video. Okay, seems to be a really good group. I'll put up the size of the group over here. I think all the 4 shots went into the same group actually. One shot just went to a little to the right. Maybe it was me or the pellet is like so, I don't know. But overall at 35 yards, a group like this is more than satisfied, I would say. So the next pellet which I'm going to test is the 10.65 H&N Barracudas, which also tends to fly very well on all the Gare barrels actually. The only thing is that they are little tight into the breech while loading. The JSBs on the other hand are very easy fit into the breech. Let's see how this is going to perform. I'm going to single load all the pellets. See, as I told, it's a little tight. Let's see what kind of a group it may give. Okay, considering the group of H&M Barracuda 10.65, I think it's not so great because the JSP did exceptionally well. And on the other hand, like H&M Barracuda 10.65 is like, I would say the head size matters a lot. Like when I see a pellet getting too tight into the breech while loading, it's going to drop a little lower. And if it is going to be a snug fit into the breech, it's going to hit on the mark, like right on the impact bullseye or something. Like I think this is a decent accuracy, I would say, but not so great like the JSP 10.34s. So moving on to the next pellet, like I have taken the QIS streamlined 9.56 grains. Recently one of my favorite pellets, or one of the favorite pellets for almost all the shooters who are shooting around 15 foot-pounds of energy, like tends to fly really well on almost all the air guns. So I'm just going to test a 9.56 grain QIS at 35 yards. Let's see how it goes. Okay, the one pellet which went a lot lower than the others were a little dented in the skirt. Before I could realize, stop loading the breech, like I just closed the breech, so I couldn't do anything. I had to take the shot. Apart from that, like I have taken 5 shots. It seems to be a decent group, but still not so great as the JSP 10.34s. Like doing a decent job, I would say. Let's move on to the other pellets. So the next pellet is also going to be a QIS, but this is the 9.56 grains domed pellets, equally good as a streamlined. Let's see how this is going to perform on this barrel. Okay, I've taken 5 shots, 6 shots actually. The first pellet just went right into the bullseye. I was expecting the other pellets to also go into the same hole, but the impact was a little lower than the first pellet, but still there was a grouping at that size, a decent grouping I would say. So now I'm going to test the lightest pellet of the collection, the 8.4 grain JSPs. Let's see what kind of a group it's gonna give. Since it is too light, I'm expecting the pellets to hit a little lower or on the higher side. I don't know what's gonna happen. Let's see. Yeah. Okay, I would say a very decent group, because 8.44 grains, a very light pellet compared to all the other pellets, were grouping really good I would say. I saw one flyer out of it, the shot which went a little to the higher side. I saw the pellet giving a little bit of a swirl while flying. I saw it through the scope actually, so I just continued taking one more shot. Let's take the target up close and see what kind of a group the size it has given. So here we are at the end of the video actually. I have provided the information about the Theseus over here from Gare. I think I have given out the information which you all guys wanted about the gun in the right way possible. This gun, apart from being a little bulky and heavy, if you can handle the weight of this gun, gives you a lot of shots for sure per fill. It can give you like 200 plus shots with 15 foot-pounds, less than 15 foot-pounds, like crazy I would say. And this gun has almost all the features you need. It has a safety mechanism, side lever action, smoother, magazine capacity of 10 shots, and has a very big body bottle in the front, a QD quick filling system, a shrouded barrel which hustles us around, and a Picatinny rail added to that, like has a wooden stock. I almost love everything about the gun. I want to test it even more. I'll post up details on my Instagram channel for sure. So do follow my channel on my YouTube and Instagram to more about the testings I'm doing. And next video, what I'm going to do is, like, I have two sets of pellets, like from Apollo and rifle pellets. Like, I'm going to test out with my rifle collection, like about 2 or 3 rifles. I'll try to bring out 2 or 3 rifles over to the farm and test different weights of pellets. Like, the next review video is going to be about the pellets, so stay tuned. I'll post the next video on the next week. Like, see you in the next one. Bye bye.